Hello and welcome to the Critically Clueless. I'm the Monk and I am here in Wasteland 3. So today I have a tips guide for you. I've completed this game more times than I can count currently, and I've made over 40 videos on this game. So this is my collection of tips for you. Hopefully you find them of use, or maybe you just find this video entertaining. If you do, don't forget to like the video and of course hit that subscribe button. We're still chasing 1,000 subscribers, so every subscriber counts massively. And don't forget to comment your thoughts down below if these tips have helped you at all. So getting into the video, tip number 1. Start combat off with a well-placed rocket, because although a well-placed sniper shot is really good and guarantees you at least one kill, a rocket sometimes can guarantee you a lot more. Therefore, it's a very good tip, so keep that in mind. Tip number 2. Gone are the days of Overwatch. You know, the XCOM style, Overwatch was king. It was actually incredibly good. But in Wasteland 3, it works a little bit different. It's probably better to prepare and save that AP for the next turn. Although you still have a ambush, which is kind of the the equivalent of Overwatch. Prepare kind of make sure that you can spend your AP how you want the next turn. It does carry over, so I would recommend doing that instead of the old-fashioned Overwatch, aka ambush. Tip number 3, deep pockets. Don't waste your perk point on this. Now, for whatever reason, whether it was on purpose or not, it does not currently cost you AP to put something in your quick slot, which means that you can change out as much as you want, either in the battle, and it doesn't cost you anything at all. So don't waste your perk point on actually using this, because honestly, you just don't need it. Now, later in the game, after this game is patched quite a bit, this may end up costing AP. Therefore, in battle, having deep pocket could actually be quite useful. But at the moment, the way the game is in its current state, it does not cost you AP to swap out items. So don't bother wasting that perk point, because it can be used elsewhere a lot better. Tip number 4 is that the preset characters actually have secret and very powerful trinkets. Now, this isn't something that any hardcore RPG fan would actually probably even have noticed, because you wouldn't be picking these presets. Everyone knows that you can create a more powerful character. But if you pick these preset characters, you get a special trinket, obviously unequipped it, and then you can use it once you get to Ranger HQ, once you've made your brand new character, and pop it on them. Tip number 5 is weapon diversity. Now, do not have an entire squad of assault rifles, and the same can go for submachine guns or any class weapon. In this game, ammo is scarce, and you are not going to have as much ammo as I have. I am very late game. I have grinded a lot, so you're not going to have the ammo that I do. So therefore, ammo is scarce, so make sure that you have a diverse squad. Tip number 6, currently this game is unfortunately broken and it crashes way too much, so please make sure that you save. Cannot stress this enough, this game needs to be saved after every battle, sometimes going into new locations, so make sure you do that. Tip number 7, the Kodiak is so overpowered right now, it will probably be nerfed at some point. But do not sleep on it. It currently one-hits every single enemy if you run them over. Now, it's not the weapon. The weapon itself doesn't necessarily one-hit, but the actual Kodiak, if you hit them with the car, be it a vehicle or just a regular grunt, you will one-shot absolutely everyone. This goes for the toughest bosses in the game. I do not want to ruin a story, but it will one-shot anything if this Kodiak actually touches it. So do not sleep on it. It's a very powerful weapon in the game, and if finding this game a little bit hard, especially when you're out there actually in the Wasteland with the amount of random encounters you get, don't forget to use this, because it's currently in a game, it works, so why not use it? Tip number 8 is all to do with Animal Whisperer. Now, some people may overlook this perk, but I'm telling you now, Wasteland 3 has some incredibly powerful companions that you can only get if you have Animal Whisperer. And a good tip that I like to give on all of my builds is make sure that every single character has at least 1 point into Animal Whisperer, because for every companion of animal you get a special little bonus, that whether it's, you know, extra damage to critical hits, an extra critical hit chance, you know, more strike power, more melee power, whatever it is. Animal Whisperer can help you through this game so much. It's definitely worth investing in, you know, on multiple characters, because there are some really powerful companions in this game, and you're only going to get them if you have Animal Whisperer. Remembering that every single character that you currently have, that includes the extra 2 that you can tag along with the Rangers, can actually have an animal with them. Tip number 9 is don't be afraid to mix skill lines. Now, a few skill lines actually mix together really well that you wouldn't necessarily expect. For instance, on the heavy guns, Flamethrower is a heavy gun. And so if you put Toaster Repair with that, that actually have some synergy, and that can buff your Flamethrower build. Now, there are quite a few builds that work with this really well. But of course, the big guns is definitely one that I personally didn't actually find until quite late into the game. For instance, I only ever used Toaster Repair as a side character. When I very first started playing the game, I didn't think there was any point in even using Toaster Repair. You could always go around later in the game and get your Toaster Repair, and, you know, and get all your toasters. And I didn't use flamethrowers either. So it took me a while to actually find this. And it is really good. It can help your game out quite a lot. I mean, the Toasty perk, for instance, level 10 Toaster Repair, that can work on any build. It doesn't have to be your flamethrower build. It's just that Toasty, or the Toaster Repair perk list, actually has, you know, another perk there that goes really well for flamethrower builds. But the same can be said for your brawling character. People wouldn't necessarily think to put on melee, but as you see, striking distance works really well in a melee build as well. So again, don't be afraid to actually experiment with these skill lines and see what works for you, because there are a lot of synergies in this game that maybe you didn't notice the first time round playing it. And they are my 9 tips in Wasteland 3. Have you got any tips that you would like to share? Because if so, pop that in the comments, because it's nice to get everyone feeling together on this game. This is a game that I feel that, you know, works well when we're talking and communicating with others. This is a cooperative game as well, after all. If you have learned anything from these videos, don't forget to hit that like button and of course subscribe. That way you don't miss out on any more videos just like this. I have been the Monk and we have been the Critically Clueless. I'll see you again soon for more Wasteland content.